This exercise is called the bird dog. It's a fantastic all-round exercise for your core muscles. Now you start in this square shaped position. So your back straight, hands directly below your shoulders, so not out in front of you, knees below your hips. If you want to find a neutral position, just bend down a bit, bend up a bit, and then come to what feels like the middle position. That's your neutral position for your spine. Now the most basic version, if your back's very bad, just start with this, is just to reach one arm out just for a moment. You're trying to keep your back really straight whilst other stuff's going on. You can hold it for a little bit longer. You should feel your core muscles doing something. You should feel them working. The purpose of the core muscles is to keep your spine in a neutral position whilst stuff is going on, while your arms and legs are moving. It's not to bend your spine, really. So then you can try the legs. So I'd recommend start with the arms, do 3 or 4 on each side. Pay real close attention to the position of your spine and to how the muscles are feeling. You should feel them activating. Now you move on to the opposite arm and leg. You might find you're a bit wobbly, especially on one side, and that's a good indication that your core muscles are not stabilizing properly. But you'll find that the more you do this, the better it'll get. Hold for about 5 seconds on each side. And then alternate sides between 5 and 10, but make sure that each one that you do is really good. Pay attention to what you're doing and don't try to do more and more if your form starts to go. It's better to do fewer repetitions. Don't do them like this. So this is a common mistake. Arching your back too much, leg and arm go too high. So rewind that if you need to see what not to do, but that's the correct position. Back is staying really straight. If you find you're arching your back too much, just lower the arm and leg down a little bit. Don't go as high. And if you start to feel a bit wobbly, pause. Take 5 or 6 seconds just to get that neutral position again, get your balance, and start again. It's all about quality, not quantity with this exercise. So you can follow along with Lucy. I've asked her to do a few repetitions here so that you can follow along, see if your technique's the same. It's quite a good idea actually to video yourself. Put your phone somewhere where you can film yourself doing it just to make sure you're doing it correctly, or ask someone to have a look for you. The most important thing is to make sure your back stays straight throughout the exercise. And you'll find after between 5 and 10 repetitions each side, if you really do them properly, you should really feel your core muscles, especially the ones around the front and your abdominals, working quite well. Each time coming back to that square position. So don't let your hands come too far forward because that's actually too stable, so that's cheating. Keep your hands below your shoulders. Now, when you can do this pretty easily, you might want to move on to the next advanced version of the exercise. And basically, you stay in the same position, but you make it harder. You do that in a couple of different ways. So before you were alternating sides, but if you want to train the muscles for endurance more, what you do is the same side for a few repetitions and then swap sides. So notice Lucy's not resting in between. She's not really touching the ground with her knee and her hand. She's just going straight back into that position. A good way of doing it is 5 on the left, 5 on the right, 4 on the left, 4 on the right, 3 on the left, 3 on the right. The next way to advance the exercise is to do it a bit quicker. But again, the key thing is only do this if you can keep your back in that neutral position. This is more challenging for the core muscles, but again, start with the basic and work up. When you're doing them quickly like this, you could do it either alternating sides or doing it the same side. You can kind of mix and match the different advanced techniques. And if you really want to advance it, then what you do is add a bit of movement. So keep the back neutral, but without arching your back up too much. Don't swing the legs around. Just draw little shapes, write the alphabet, write your name, just wiggle your arm and leg around. So you're asking the muscles to keep stabilizing even though there's movement going on in the hips and the shoulders. Okay, this is exactly what not to do, so swaying all over the place. Again, use your camera or ask a friend or someone to just to have a look and make sure you're not doing this. So just back to good technique again. And there's a little bit of movement going on there, but she's staying nice and stable. There's almost no movement at all in the back, and that's great technique.